Here we go, aka Patters Fantastic Four 274. Me bringing it to you for Halloween. The Thing versus the Universal Monsters. Yeah, it happens. Let's go. Hey, what's up, my AK Patters? I love coming to you with the Philadelphia Sirens in the background. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69. Say with me, known through Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the vast multiverse as your eclectic one. Get yourself a little bit of that sippy. This is my morning iced coffee. Already drank it. Had to do some drawing, took a call. That's right, we do calls here on the weekend. But welcome to Friday, guys. We got a good one for you. Okay, we have a great one. There's so many things that John Byrne wedges into this issue. It brightens your mind. It brings you into that fifth dimension of what once was and what never will be again. Meaning, just the quality, just the storytelling, just the artwork, the flow, the interconnectivity of this book alone with the vast Marvel Universe. All of it will never get back in modern comics. This run, the John Byrne Fantastic Four run, is a top 5 run in comic book history. John Byrne is a part of multiple top 5 runs. That's right, he is the absolute GOAT. And I know we're still in Jacktober, but Jack Kirby could draw. He could create. He gave us a ton of characters, but he really couldn't write. John Byrne is of that generation, and he grew up saying to himself, you can see it, you can feel it in the panels. John Byrne grew up reading Jack Kirby and Stanley, and he said, I will be both of them. That's why everything that he touched during this time, all the way, even to the Image era, the Next Men, everything that the guy touched is deep and meaningful and perfectly comic book. Here is the Thing fighting the Universal Monsters. That's right, the Universal Monster Universe, going back to 1931 with Dracula. So many of you, I see you guys leave comments on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, on and on. And I always see, why can't someone else do the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like the interconnected movies. People, wake up! The Universal Monster movies, starting with Dracula, is a shared universe. It goes all the way into the House of Dracula and the House of Frankenstein, which is like 15 years after that. Those movies connect. The plot lines, characters, everything. John Byrne grew up watching those movies, and he just says, you know what, let's just do it. I'm gonna find a way. People, this issue is nothing but significant. I am happy, I am proud to bring this to you. For Halloween, by the way. Let's go. And it's good to be back, aka Patters. I do apologize. It's been too long since we did a comic book flip through. We gotta get these shades off. Okay. Confession, I don't love this cover. Did you guys get your COVID vaccine shots? I found a bunch of stickers recently. I thought it would be funny to put that there. We need a better cover. I just want to say I'm not a John Byrne expert by any means. I'm an expert on his work. I don't know a lot about the stories behind some of these books, some of these covers, but I would suspect, knowing the contents of this issue, that this was a cover that they settled on. I would believe that John Byrne had other ideas for this cover. Moving on. It's clobbering time at last. Now, also, be mindful. Issue 275 of Fantastic Four is just another issue. That's what we have to get back to as well. We have a snooping old lady. We have Sue Storm and She-Hulk living together, hanging out, living in Connecticut, living in the suburbs, doing the girl thing. We drop something small underneath the fridge.
She-Hulk needs to transform, lift up the fridge, all within... Now, see, this is a plot point that happens later. But the old lady thinks that they're part of the occult. She thinks that they're witches. And she's going to report this to the neighborhood watch. And then, along the way, Sue Storm, with her wig, just has a little bit of the intended call to her husband will go unplaced for quite some time. Yeah, you can see the empty crib here. So we know what's happening, and then we jump from there to Reed Richards working. Now, John Byrne also used photographs for some of his aerial shots. That's fine, because we got a whole issue to make here. John Byrne sets up Reed Richards here. Basically, Reed's like, look, guys, we have to get out of the Baxter building. We barely spend time here. I have a lot. And then Alicia, the former girlfriend of Ben Grimm. Where's Ben Grimm? We're going to get to that. Johnny Storm, Alicia, they're kind of together. Johnny Storm is such a POS that he's banging Ben Grimm's girlfriend while he's essentially off-world. Reed Richards is like, guys, I own this building. We have leases. I can't expand. A lot of these leases are 99 years lease. They were sold at a discount. We got to get out of the Baxter building. Now, this is somehow a plot point that Marvel just keeps reusing. Whatever team, wherever they are, they have to change the location. Whatever. So they go back and forth. They run off together, and Reed's like, hey guys, enjoy the lecture. I have work to do. This is the Reed Richards that we love. See, you can essentially have, here's the characterization of Reed Richards. You can have like something like a whole Fantastic Four movie. And in the entire movie, Reed Richards doesn't leave the laboratory. That would be proper use of Reed Richards. But yeah, and then we go off, people. We're going off into space. And we're traveling to the world that's left over from Secret Wars. Now, this issue, this is how tight Marvel editorial and their continuity were. This issue takes place right at issue 9 of Secret Wars. So they knew what was happening between issues 8 and 9 of Secret Wars. They told John Byrne, and he fills in this issue with 2 plot points from Secret Wars flowing through this. One of them is Ben Grimm on this alien world. Ben Grimm also has his own book. The Thing number 19 right here, people. This issue takes place after The Thing 19. We have a universal monster, Frankenstein. Ben Grimm essentially fights Frankenstein. And this is where the issue picks up, because now we want the action. We want the fighting. John Byrne loves these long captions, but these long captions add so much to the characterization and exposition where we are within the series. But we're buying a 60-cent comic. Give me some fights. Ben Grimm fights Frankenstein. And right before, now here we go. People, this is the other interesting point about this book, okay? You're about to see John Byrne doing Todd McFarlane, or was it always Todd McFarlane ripping off John Byrne? You ready? Oh, you already saw it. But yeah, but anyway, Frankenstein picks up a giant rock to end the Thing's life. And he gets shot by a dart by this guy who we've seen in how many Todd McFarlane comic books at this time. The visor, the weird looking gun, the big boots, the shoulder pads. People, now you see the pushback to Image Comics when those guys went off the rails and did what they did. Guys like John Byrne, the statesman, was like, you're number one, you're ripping us off. You're not doing anything as good that we were doing. And your creator rights thing is eventually going to fail, which it did. Here's what I don't like. This guy's easily able to shoot Ben Grimm the Thing with a tranquilizer dart, collapsing him. So where are we with this? So we're with this guy. He's like a monster master. Now, a part of this world, too, is Ben Grimm was like fighting manifestations of some of his favorite movies, and those were the Universal monster movies. I'm not very clear on if that gets extrapolated, if that gets expanded on at all, but essentially the Ben Grimm is in a part of the Secret Wars alien world that makes you fight your manifestations, but there's also characters that control and harness those manifestations, and we have the Monster Master here. And the Monster Master, well, now we're introduced to the Universal werewolf. So Ben Grimm is able to transform himself back into the human form as the werewolf transforms into the wolf, or the Wolfman. I'm sorry, werewolf and Wolfman are separate. But anyway, the Monster Master is like, boom, I'm going to get the Wolfman to go after Ben Grimm. But Ben Grimm, during the fight here, and we have a fantastic fight, transforms, knocks him out, fights Wolfman, and then we have Frankenstein turning on the Monster Master because, I guess, because Frankenstein's mind is loose and corrupted and not 100%, or Frankenstein's monster's mind. He's able to fight through the control of the Monster Master. People, there's some deep elements in this book, but he kills him. And Ben Grimm is like, hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I have to go. And then here we have anyone that is against captions. F you. You're not reading comics. You haven't read enough comics. Anyone that looks at captions as they hold back on comic books, so they don't expand on the storytelling. People, I never understood that commentary. I never understood that argument. To me, the better comic books have captions. We're about to see it here. But Ben Grimm goes off. Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster. And the guy in the Tom McFarlane costume right here. Let's go back, because we do have a detail right here. This guy. He gets carried off by Frankenstein. Let me read this to you. They stand a moment watching the figure of Ben Grimm dwindle towards the horizon. Then they turn and stride off into the fog that rolls about them. And when the fog clears, it is as if they have never been. Continued, by the way, the Thing 20. Here we go. Let's expand the Marvel Universe. We have the symbiote in the Baxter building. People, when we talk about the origin of Venom and this and that, no one goes into these issues. I don't know why. I think it's lazy. Because the Fantastic Four, to me, the symbiote is a Fantastic Four villain. Anyway, it's not a Spider-Man villain. We have this drone that flies in through the security sensors. And the drone, see, it's a little tiny. And we have the symbiote in this long, containment cell. Or this containment vial, this containment chamber. And the little drone's able to it burns like a pinpoint into the container. And within that pinpoint, boom, the symbiote shoots out and it's free in the city. People, this detail alone, this book here, this is like a 50-cent book still. This book barely retained its value, okay? I don't know why these people that do this, the key collector bull crap, where is the value of this issue? I don't understand comic book collecting. This is why we read comics. But people, Fantastic Four 274, one of the greatest comic books you will ever read from one of the greatest runs of all time. Let's go.
We're back! Okay. Let me put that down. Okay, we are back. So here's... we gotta wrap this up, okay? What happened to the holidays? What happened? All the major publishers used to revel around Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. These holidays, I don't care what your beliefs are, what your political system is, what your religion is, but these holidays have a single intention: to bring us together. Period. And when comic books can't do that, when I go into the comic shop this past week, I didn't even buy anything. There's no Halloween anything. There's no holiday. There's no togetherness. I'm sure some of them might mention Halloween, but there's no event. The holiday should be a built-in event for Marvel and DC, or any comic book universe for that matter. It makes no sense to me. And it really lets me believe that as a world, as a culture, as you and I, the AKAPAD army, that we moved on from celebrating holidays in the realm of togetherness and hanging out and spending time with one another and showing our appreciation to our friends and family. If the creators of the books don't believe in that, we don't get it in the books. And therein lies, I mean, it is the definition of what we call the culture war, and it's sad. And people, I just want to know, what are you be doing for Halloween? Let me know in the comments below. I need to know. I'm going out tonight. I'm dressing up as the ultimate Aldi fanboy. You know, the grocery store chain, because I live and die by Aldi, and I just thought it would be hilarious. Every single year, I dress up for Halloween. Every single year, we do multiple parties. Every single year, we do a Friendsgiving. We do a Thanksgiving. We do everything for Christmas. What are we doing for Halloween? What are you dressing up as? And let me know your favorite comic book Halloween special, because I feel like I dropped the ball on that a little bit this year. But we do have, where's it at? Also upcoming, Top Cow, Marvel Comics, Devil's Reign, 8 issues. This should be coming either Sunday for Sunday Fun Day or Monday. But before Halloween, I'm almost done them all. This is also one of my favorite crossovers, like, ever. I love you guys. Rock and roll.